everybody. This is the old bear from the old bear's den of Bigfoot. I was talking to one of the viewers from the channel, and he said that he just got into the watching videos of Bigfoot. He wanted to know what channels I would recommend for him to watch. Now you're looking at an old walnut tree. It's died, I gotta cut it down, but I thought it was something interesting to look at. Shows you where I'm at. Doesn't give you an idea of where I live, but not hard to find. Anyway, thought I'd show you the old walnut tree. It's an old tree. It's been around since, shoot, I was a pup. Or close to being a pup. Anyway, I want to go through this list. And it's not going to be in an order. It's going to be channels that I watch and I listen to on YouTube. And I wanted to give that list out. So, here we go. My first one is Pack West Bigfoot. I like this channel. He's very informative. He does a great job of telling stories. I would recommend him for anybody to watch. Let's see here. Altruist. He does a great job. I applaud him on all he does. He does an awesome job of telling stories. And he has the voice for it. So check him out too. Let's go with American Cryptids. I love his channel. He's an awesome guy. He does great videos. He does them a whole lot better than I do. And so guys, take a look at his channel, and if you like it, subscribe to his channel. Howtohunt.com. We all know who that is. It's Steve Isdall, and he tells great stories. He has wonderful scenery for people to look at while he's telling the stories. He does an awesome job on his channel. I'd recommend him to anyone. He just has an awesome channel. Sasquatch Chronicles. I love that channel. We used to watch it for hours on Saturday evenings, me and my wife, and we watched videos from him for hours, and he had us enthralled the whole time. Bigfoot and Beyond podcast. Now, this has got Bobo in it. They do a wonderful job. They're just, they were on that show with Money Faker, and but they made the show interesting. Money Faker didn't do anything for it, nor did the girl that was on there. But Bobo and Cliff Barrickman. Yeah, that was my wife. Give me a hint. I'm bad with names, guys. I'm terrible. But Cliff Barrickman, they made the show. They do awesome podcasts. Take a look at them too. Bigfoot Case Files. She tells a story. She has a wonderful voice for it. I don't know. There's no other way I can describe her. She's just awesome in what she does. Take a look at her show. Look at her channel. And now here's a few that you may know or may not know about. In the Woods with Bigfoot. I've watched some of his videos. He does a really good job. I would recommend him for anybody to watch to learn. Uh, that would be a good channel to learn from. Southern Ontario Sasquatch, great channel. I'd recommend it in a heartbeat, not a question. And most of the people on here know about Dixie Cryptid. He does an awesome job of narrating stories. The man's never seen a Bigfoot, and he don't lie to you about it. He's never seen one, never heard one. May have had an encounter. He's not sure when he was hunting one time, but other than that, he just tells you he had never seen a Bigfoot. Not gonna lie to you. We watch Cryptid Tales. He does a real good job of relaying the stories, and he has that semi-deep voice that kind of adds a little thrill to it for you. Take a chance and go watch the channel. Now here's another one you may not know about. SoCal Forest Ninjas. This guy's out of Southern California. I've talked to him quite a few times. I watch his videos all the time. Every time they come up, I'll watch them. I have... we go back and forth on his videos. Whenever he's got evidence, I tell him, hey, that's an awesome find. He listens to my stories all the time. I would say go watch him. He don't have very many viewers, but he does a real good job on it. And so I recommend that channel too. Now, kind of here in the middle, I'm going to step off the topic of Bigfoot. And I go right straight smack into the Dogman. And there's only one channel I have that I would endorse. And it's Dogman Encounters with Jeffrey Nadolny. I'm not no good with names, Jeff. Forgive me. I apologize. I'm butchered your last name, and I ask you to forgive me, sir. He does an awesome job telling stories. He's a great guy. Easy to talk to. Easy to listen to. Gives you the story, but builds suspense in the stories. Does a wonderful job. Take a chance and go and listen to his channel, people. Let's see here. Let's talk about another one. Bigfoot Mary's Encounter Stories. She doesn't have a lot of videos up. I watched the videos that she's got. She does a very good job of telling stories and telling you what's going on. Keeps you in the loop. Keeps you interested. Go take a chance and look at her channel, people. Bigfoot's Wilderness does a wonderful job. I'd recommend him in a heartbeat. Take a chance and listen to it. And if you're interested, start his first video and go through his whole thing. You won't be disappointed. Timber Giant Bigfoot. He's got a bunch of subscribers because he is good at what he does. He does an awesome job on it. I'd recommend him to anybody that wants to learn anything. He gives you the basics. He does a wonderful job at doing that. And he gives you some in-depth stuff on Bigfoot. The Trail to Bigfoot. Watch their videos. They do a great job. There ain't much I can say about the guy. He's flawless in what he does. They do awesome job, awesome videos. I like watching them. We watch them here at home. We mirror it to the TV, the big TV we got, and we have fun watching them. Cryptid Brothers Investigation. Now these guys are out of Oklahoma. They do a great job down there. They investigate Dogman, Bigfoot, any cryptid that comes up. They're on the ball and they do a great job. Take a look at him, guys. Buckeye Bigfoot. That lady can tell a story that and hold your interest from the time she takes her first breath until she finishes that story. And she's just awesome. She's awesome at it. I applaud her. She makes me look like I am second rate to her, but that's beside the point. Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you to go take a look at her channel. And last but not least, Bigfoot Odyssey. Kerry and I differ on some things. He does a wonderful job. I love all of his videos. He does a real good job of videos. He's done investigations. He's went and talked to people on camera. And, he just does a wonderful job at it. And there's one other one that I don't have on my channel. DDoS with the BDRP. Bigfoot Research Dogman Productions. I think that's what it was. But BDRP with DDoS is a channel that he's a great guy. He's a man of God. He's my brother. And he does a wonderful job. So people, if y'all get a chance and he starts putting videos back out, take a chance and go look at him. And he's great. But anyway, that is all the ones that I recommend right now. If there's some that I haven't mentioned that you think I should, leave me a comment on the bottom of this video. Let me know. Down in the comment section, let me know what ones you think I ought to take a look at. And in a later video, I'll give you my honest opinion about them. But those are the ones I would recommend. But anyway, I was going to do this video, and we decided last night that I would tell the story of a gentleman that I spoke to over a week ago. May have been a couple of weeks now. No, I think it was last Saturday. Talked to him on the phone for probably 3 hours. Out here in the heat. But that's neither here nor there for me. Yeah, I'm a big guy, and the heat bugs me. But this man had some stories about when he was younger, and something else that happened recently to him here in the past year or two. And I'm going to relate to you what he gave me. And there's one special note. Now this goes out to his brother-in-law. I would love to hear what you saw, what happened to you. And if you don't want it on the internet, it won't be. I was told the gist of what happened to you. And I understand you don't like talking about it, but you got to talk about it to somebody that will believe you and that will understand and help you get through it and get past what happened. So here goes with his story. The gentleman I spoke to for 3 hours on the phone, and it was a pleasure to speak to you for that long on the phone. At a young age, 14, 15 years old, I believe what it was, he went deer hunting. Now this is in the late fall, right around before December, right around December time. He went hunting. He'd got a new rifle, had a scope on it, and it was his first chance to go deer hunting with that rifle. Now, he went into a hollow, and I want to keep saying hollow. It's a holler. Sorry, y'all can figure out what it is. A holler is something us hillbillies call a very deep area that's comes off the side of a mountain, and they're real deep and dark, and yeah, they're a holler. Anyway, he was hunting in near the top of the holler, and there was some rhododendron bush in there and trees all over, pretty dense underbrush. Mountain laurel, which is rhododendron, mountain laurel, all those kind of plants, you know what they are. And he'd been sitting there for a while, been there since probably a little after daylight, or right at daylight anyway. Hadn't heard anything, seen anything. He was watching down into the thicket, because that seemed like where all the bucks would go after the first day or two of the rifle season. And this happened in Virginia. I'm not going to tell you where, because it's private property, guys. I'm not telling you where it's close to, for that simple fact. I don't want none of you going in there and getting hauled out of there in a police car for trespassing. So don't ask. Anyway, he was there, and he was there deer hunting, looking down the holler, and he saw this deer's head. He saw the nose of a deer sticking straight up in the air. Couldn't figure out what in the world was going on. Why would a deer's nose be pointing straight up in the air? He couldn't see the brown of the nose. He could see the white that was on the underneath the bottom of the jaw. White. That don't make no sense, does it? And said he watched this bounce up and down. You know, it would go down and then up, and it would reappear every 5 or 6 feet. He could see the deer's nose, and he's looking at this, and he's sitting there, and he saw it. So he put his rifle to his shoulder, thinking it might be a buck deer coming out. Didn't he? Couldn't figure out why. He could see the nose and the white that's on the bottom of the chin. Well, when this thing finally come out of the brush, he saw why. He saw just the nose, the black of the nose, and the white. This whitetail buck, not a real big buck, but you know, a respectable one, was across the back of something that was probably over 7 or 8 foot tall, holding this fully grown deer with one arm, holding its antler, because evidently the other one had been broken off. This deer was being carried up the mountainside with no trouble whatsoever by a Bigfoot. Now he's looking at this thing from, I believe he said, about 40 or 50 yards away through a rifle scope. And he's sitting there, and he's a young kid. He don't know what he's seeing. He never knew about Bigfoot, didn't know anything about him. But he watched this thing kind of angle away from him, going up the side of the mountain. And it got up there so far, and it stopped. And he pulled the hammer back on the rifle that he had, or clicked the safety off. I think, yeah, safety off. What he was talking about, and he did what, you know, every kid at that age would do. You know, he's in full amazement. He's in astonishment. He's not believing his own eyes. When he done that, the thing turned, full body, turned, and looked right dead at him while he was looking at it through the scope. He's sitting there looking at it. While he's sitting there looking at this thing, it had an expression on his face like sad, like, oh crap, you caught me. I'm done for. So he just, the kid lowered the rifle. At that age, he didn't know what to do, so he lowered his rifle. This thing just kind of looked at him, from 70 yards away by this time, 70, 80 yards, and just looked at him. Kind of just shrugged its shoulders and reaffixed this deer's holding across its shoulder, turned around and walked off. Walked up and over a little knoll and walked up the real steep part of the hill and got to the top of the mountain. Did a call, kind of like a grunt or a slow howl or something of that nature, a little howl, and they parted company. Now let's fast forward a few years. Man's in his 40s maybe, and him and a buddy were out riding around on the back roads, having a few beers, and on some roads up between West Virginia and Virginia, and they stopped. They had to go to the restroom. Well, he got out of the driver's side because he was driving and did his business, and his buddy got out when he was just about done, and he slipped back in the driver's seat and sitting there with the door open. His buddy standing over near the passenger door. He can't see his buddy because he's standing there at the pillar of the cab, and all of a sudden he hears a big commotion, and his buddy's he turns and looks and doesn't see his buddy, and his buddy's over screaming like something he's in the fight of his life with whatever it is. He jumps out of the truck and gets halfway around the truck, and his buddy scrambles back up, gets in the passenger seat and screaming at him, slams the door. Let's go, we got to get out of here now. He runs back around, gets in the driver's seat, throws it in gear, and goes down the road. A few miles down the road, he stops. He's like, what in the world was that all about? Well, his buddy had some marks on him, a few scratches. He said, what in the world did you do? Fall off the daggone side of the road into the ditch? No, something grabbed me. I got out and started taking a leak, and something grabbed me and pulled me in the ditch. And he's like, well, what the heck grabbed you? He said, I don't know. It had two big hairy arms. I was fighting this thing off, punching at it and everything, and it was just, I don't know what it was. It had big hairy arms. Buddy's freaking out. They finally, he takes his buddy home, and his buddy's a little bruised up and everything next day when he talks to him, and he's still telling him, all I saw was two big hairy arms. All I could see was from the lights that was on the truck, and you had your foot on the brake, and that's all I had to see. All I saw was two big hairy arms. Long hair hanging off the arms. I don't know what it was. So, if you're in Virginia, near the West Virginia border, late at night, watch where you get out to go take a leak, guys, gals. You never know, one might grab you. Be careful. Could be a Bigfoot. Sure sounds like one to me. So if you liked the video, guys, I hope you enjoyed the first part where I recommended some channels for you. And if you like the video and want to leave a comment about the story, go right ahead and do that. So I hope you enjoy it. And this is the Old Bear, and we're going to sign off. Y'all have a wonderful night or a wonderful day whenever you get a chance to hear this. And may God bless each and every one of you. Bye-bye.